Perfect deep red lips. Let's go. The idea is to layer several fill layers with various blend modes to achieve a magazine-worthy red lips. First, we start by adding a mid-gray fill layer and apply this in color blend mode. This will act as a reset and remove the color so that we get a neutral base in order to get that consistent deep red look. Next, I'm going to duplicate this fill and change the color to dark purplish red. The blend mode we are going to use for this fill layer will be overlay. We also need to modify the blend range. In the blend options dialog, let's make sure we use the red channel and dim down the shadows. Actually, for this layer, we could have also used the master channel. However, using the red channel makes the effect a bit more future-proof in case we might decide to add a layer below this layer. The two fill layers we just created are applied to the whole canvas. Let's group them and mask our lips. The mask should not need to be pixel perfect at this time, as we will revisit this mask. This looks about right. I'm going to add another fill layer to the group and set the color to a very light pink. The blend mode for this layer will be color. This just gives that extra pop in the color. I'm going to duplicate this fill layer and change the color to a red which is tiny bit shifted to the orange. The blend mode will be screen and we need to change the blend range for the red channel so that it mainly applies to the highlights. And here is our final fill. It will have an almost pure red color. The blend mode will be overlay with the blend range of the red channel adjusted so it only applies to the underlying shadows. The final adjustment we need is a curves adjustment. Here we will pull back the shadows and make sure that the highlights are not affected by creating this J kind of curve. Before moving on, let's also make sure the blend mode is set to multiply for a maximum effect, which in fact is almost our final effect. Look at those red lips, pretty cool. Because we have a much stronger lip color right now, we can see the errors in the mask, and now is a good time to revisit and refine the mask so that the red color we created is only applied to the lips. The final step is to change the blend range of the group for the red channel as shown. This will dim down the effect and make it look more natural. Let's have a look at the before. And here is the after. Pretty awesome. The cool part is that it can be applied to any image. I will name the group and copy it to the clipboard. If I go to a different image, I can paste the group here. The only thing I need to do is to adjust the mask. I already had prepared a mask, so let's use that. That looks pretty amazing. By modifying the blend range of the group, I can make the red stronger if needed. Let's move to our next example. Let's paste the red lips group here and replace its mask with the mask already available in this image. Not bad at all. As I mentioned, we can change the blend range of the group, and in this case I'm going to reset the red channel and dim down the master channel. Depending on the image, sometimes this gets a better result. Here is the final example I want to share with you. In this example, I have applied the same steps with one difference. On top of the curves adjustment, I have added a fill layer in divide blend mode, with as intention to give more shine by enhancing the bright tones. When I turn it off and on, you can clearly see the difference. Let me remove this layer and add it again. We're going to add a fill layer with a very light gray color. We can then change the blend mode to divide, which will brighten things up. Finally, on the blend options, I will select the red channel and lower the effect on this layer on the dark reds. This will keep the red nice and dark and affect only the highlights. You can then play around with the fill color of this layer to fine-tune the strength. The darker the color, the stronger the effect gets as we're dividing by a smaller number. This looks about right. Pretty awesome. As a final step, we can adjust the blend range of the group to make the reds stronger. Remember that you can also play with the opacity of the group. For example, you can apply it with a very low opacity to give the lips a nice tint of red. I initially intended to share this video as a concise 1-minute tutorial, but I truly wanted to ensure that all of you grasp the underlying concepts. I hope you enjoyed this video and has given you some inspiration. You can easily modify this technique with different colors by, for example, adding an HSL adjustment. As always, thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe buttons before you leave, and I will see you in the next video.